This song I want to get into is a song that really helped me a lot the past 3 years. It was something that really ministered to me, something that really spoke to me, and I found myself listening to it over and over again. And I was listening to it over and over again to the point that I didn't even know if I was driving my family nuts already by having it on repeat. But one thing I did love is that recently, maybe like a few weeks ago, while I was playing it in the car, the kids started humming along, and I think one time I paused it and they continued singing just softly to themselves. And I realized, wow, okay, it's sinking in with them. And it's the song You Know Better Than I, sung by David Campbell in the movie Joseph, King of Dreams by DreamWorks, written by John Bocchino. First thing is, I want to point out, it's from a cartoon musical called Joseph, King of Dreams, which is the life of Joseph the Dreamer in the Bible. And it's the same studio as the people who made Prince of Egypt, which is another amazing musical. And I love the songs of the Prince of Egypt. I have a hard time watching the Prince of Egypt without being moved emotionally, spiritually, and even moved to tears sometimes while watching it. That being said, this song, You Know Better Than I, is, in my opinion, richer and way more ministerial than any of the songs in Prince of Egypt. When I evaluate songs kasi, I tend to think of it in terms of nutrient density. I don't know if that makes sense. But what I mean by that is just to look at the song and to see, like, in so many words and so many stanzas and verses and choruses and bridges, how much is it saying? Or you might say, how little is it saying? Pang ilang ulit ka na ng chorus, tapos paulit-ulit ka lang naman sinasabi. Okay, ibang issue yan. But this song just has a massive nutrient density, and it's been on a Spotify repeat of mine, always in the top 10 the past 2 years. It's really a beautiful reminder of how we can submit to God's loving sovereignty in our lives. I love this movie, King of Dreams, and I have a slight confession. It has a very, very special place in my heart. Because in 2007, I really can't say here in this channel why it has a special place in my heart. People who know me from 20 years ago will know why. And it has to do with ministry and just stuff we did. But yeah, I will share it in the Telegram group. So we have a Telegram group to further the conversation of this channel, of this podcast. So the link is in the description or on the screen. And if you join us there, you'll see what I'm talking about. And you'll understand why I'm embarrassed. I'm iffy about sharing it in such a wide audience. But all of that to say, I love this movie. And this song is sung in the part where Joseph is in jail. If you don't know how the account of Joseph in the Bible goes, he is jailed for being falsely accused of raping Potiphar's wife. And we don't know how long he was in jail. It could have been as long as 12 years. It could have been as short as 3 or 2 years. But that's still a long time for a false accusation. And while he's there, he thinks he can have a way out. He talks to the cupbearer of the Pharaoh and he says, hey, tell the Pharaoh I'm here unjustly. He's proven his character. He's proven his giftedness, that the Spirit of God is on him. And he says, put in a good word for your master and help me. And the cupbearer says, yeah, I'll do it. And he forgets. So the 2 years that he's forgotten, Joseph is, obviously, you can feel it in the song. He's probably frustrated. He's probably angry, despairing. This is so unfair. If you've ever felt this, and this is the song for you. It starts with, I thought I did what's right. I thought I had the answers. I thought I chose the surest road, but that road brought me here. Oh, man. Dun pa lang, in that part, that cut deep, because that's me. I like to think that I'm doing the right thing. I like to think I know the right answers. And so it really frustrates me when things go wrong because I'm like, Lord, sumusunod naman ako, diba? This was me in 2019, and people on this channel have heard me talk about it, where I was frustrated at the state of my marriage, frustrated at the state of our finances, and I was easily angered because of these things, and I would take it out on my wife and on my son, and it was a vicious cycle. So I'm frustrated, I get angry, I take it out on them, now I'm even more frustrated. And this is what I felt, what he's saying in the song. I thought I did what's right. I thought I had the answers. I would think to myself, Lord, I'm in ministry. This was supposedly for you. Why am I in this situation? How did I get here? And there's a fatal flaw in the logic there, in the assumption. Can you see it? And here it is. If I do what's right, if I have the answers, if I follow the surest road, then that road should not lead me here. I shouldn't be in pain. I shouldn't be struggling if I do the right thing. I mean, multiple errors there. Number one, why? Who are you to guarantee your own outcomes, right? I thought we're trusting God. And secondly, who's to say that this is not where the right road leads? Says who? And that's something God had to correct in me. And maybe that's something God's correcting in you. Second part of the first verse, he goes, so I put up a fight and told you how to help me. Now, just when I have given up, the truth is coming clear. I can so relate to told you how to help me. I do that all the time. Like, God, I need whatever, financial provision. And this is really the way. Okay, so do this, okay? Okay, do this. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I would tell my parents or my dad, okay, you're going on a business trip. Okay, buy me this. I'm really like spelling it out to them. Like, you're going to get it wrong. And my kids do that to me. How many of us have told God how to help us? How many of us are so sure we know exactly how and when God should fix our lives? Which leads to the chorus. You know better than I. You know the way. I've let go the need to know why, for you know better than I. First things first, out of the way. If there's anybody here who's confused by the grammar, hindi mas maganda kung you know better than me? That was my first thought, honestly. And so I Googled it. And so here's a link. We'll show it there. But according to Britannica.com, both are fine. Okay, both are fine. You know better than I. You know better than me. You know better than me is more informal. And you know better than I is more formal. So, yun. Now you know. Sorry, not an English lesson. But I love the part here where he says, I've let go the need to know why. Oh, that's so hard. Because I always want to know why. But if we really are saying, Lord, you know better than me, then, okay, you don't need to tell me why. Second verse, if this has been a test, I cannot see the reason, but maybe knowing I don't know is part of getting through. And that was the line that jumped out to me the first time I listened to this. Maybe knowing I don't know is part of getting through. That's so good. That's so good. We have to admit our limitations. We have to admit this is only as far as I can go. And maybe even if God explained it to us, not maybe, definitely if God explained everything to us, we still wouldn't understand it. And so we have to admit, I'm only human. I don't know. And maybe throwing up the white flag and say, okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm lost. Okay, I'm tired. Okay, I can't do anything anymore. That's when it's like, that was the first good move you made today. I know it was for me. When a friend of mine corrected me, and I'll talk more about that another time. Oh gosh, I'm so excited to get to that book. But when a friend of mine corrected me and said, you're trying to do too much. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? There's too much to do. I can't possibly do it all. And he said, exactly. And knowing that, okay, Lord, I'm tired, I'm insecure, I'm struggling, I'm weak, I'm hot-headed, I'm being petty, I'm affected by this, even though I know I shouldn't be. Admitting those things was actually the beginning of a massive breakthrough with my walk with God, with my relationship with my family, in ministry, in so many things. And then he goes, I try to do what's best, and faith has made it easy. To see the best thing I can do is put my trust in you. I love that. I try to do what's best. I try to do everything again. I try to make it work. And I realize the best thing to do is to say, I can't do it. The best move, the right step forward, in this temptation of hustle culture, to hustle and run ahead of everybody, the best first step is to say, okay, I trust you. And if you tell me to sleep, I'll go to sleep. If you tell me to not try to compete, I won't compete. That's the best thing to do. Then the chorus repeats, for you know better than I, you know the way, I have let go the need to know why, you know better than I. And then he has this bridge, which admittedly, I did not understand the bridge at first. I was like, okay, this is too artistic for me. I don't get this. And it wasn't till years later that I was reflecting on it and I thought, oh, it's ganda pala. The bridge goes, I saw one cloud and thought it was a sky. I saw one bird and thought that I could follow. But it was you who taught that bird to fly. If I let you reach me, will you teach me? And I just I just found that first part dumb, stupid. I saw one cloud and thought it was a sky. Like, who does that? Right? Like I'm imagining I'm outside, I look up at the sky, and I see one cloud and I think, that thing must be the sky. No one does that. And I didn't understand until I saw the animation. If you watch the animation in the cartoon, he's in jail. And he's looking out the window. And when he looks out the window, in his limited view, the limited size of the window, all he can see is a cloud. And so he must, from that perspective, from that limited perspective, all he can think is the whole sky must be gray. The whole sky must be overcast. It's a gloomy day. It's a sad day. Now, you've seen that, haven't you? I've seen that, where sometimes you look at one corner of the sky and it's dark and it looks like it's about to rain. And you look at the other side and it's sunny. And that's what he's pointing at. Just because you see one part that looks like it's dark, it's gloomy and cloudy, that doesn't mean the whole thing is. And so it's a statement to the limitation of our vision. I see partially and I assume it's true for the whole. I'm going through a hard time, therefore life is hopeless. One person has an issue with me, therefore I'm not loved. I have a little bit of financial downturn, wala na, malulugi na talaga ako nito. That's not true. This is actually called catastrophizing. When we're panicking over things, when we're making everything bigger. Then the next one is, I saw a bird and I thought I could follow. This is again our temptation to compare with other people. Bakit sila nakalipad? Bakit sila umaasenso? Bakit sila masaya naman yung buhay? Unang-una, hindi mo alam yun. And secondly, ano ngayon? Yun yung kwento nila. Yun yung buhay nila. That doesn't mean God doesn't have a plan for you. That doesn't mean you don't have a direction that He has prepared you for. And that's why the answer is, if I let you reach me, will you teach me? Sige, Lord, teach me na lang. Kaysa mag-assume ako na alam ko na lahat. I saw it and I assume it's true for the whole. Or kaya ko lahat. Nakita ko ginagawa nila, gagawin ko rin. No, Lord, sige. Teach me na lang. And He will. And He will. You know, amazingly, those years of our life, of just struggling, wrestling, I felt God just breaking lots of mindsets and habits in me. They hold a very special place in my heart now. When I think about my wife and I celebrating our anniversary, it's a special place for me. God was there. When I think about those years of my wife struggling with depression, just her weeping on the floor and me being unable to comfort her, and all I could do is just sit beside her. In the beginning, it felt helpless. Now I think of those months, those years as like an altar where I met God, where I was just praying. I would sit there, watch her, and say, Lord, what can I do? I can't do anything. Then let's just stay here. You know better than I. The last chorus adds a line that I want to point out. For you know better than I, you know the way. I've let go the need to know why. Then he adds, I'll take what answers you supply. You know better than I. I'll take what answers you supply. Lord, I'm fine. You want to tell me everything now? Great. Game. You don't want to tell me why? You just want me to just stay near you? You just want me to remember that you're near me? Game pa rin. Basta kasama ka. You know better than I. So give the song a listen. If you've got an analysis, I feel like that's what I do. I take things of beauty and I analyze them to death. I'm sorry. I wish I could create beautiful art like these people, but I can appreciate. And if you want to appreciate with me, then yeah, let me know. That's the song, You Know Better Than I. We hope this content has been helpful for you in your faith and your walk with God. If you want to support this channel, here's 3 ways you can do it. One way is to subscribe and to share so more people hear about it. Another way is if you want to support us with a gift, you can go to buymeacoffee.com. The link is in the description. It'll help us with the editing and to make sure the content comes out consistently. And thirdly, if you want to continue this conversation for free, no charge, join us in our Telegram group. We've got exclusive content there. We'll geek out about stuff. You can ask questions, and you can even influence the direction and other topics we bring up in this podcast vlog. So, yeah, there. Hope to see you.